Hello, everybody. This is Hondo Carpenter. I'm your Las Vegas Raiders beat writer on SI and the host of the Las Vegas Raiders Insider Podcast. And it's great to be with you today. We are digging in a little bit and spending some time really, sorry about that, trying to get this thing in focus. Focusing in on the Raiders. We're going to talk about some new wrinkles, some personnel, and we're really going to talk about looking forward to the Patriots. What are some things going on inside the organization that are important to discuss and to look at in the future? So the first thing is, let's talk about that depth chart, because I think the depth chart is something fascinating. Now, thankfully, I mean, nobody wants to look stupid. The depth chart that I told you um, before the 53-man roster has held true on first stringers. So obviously your starters, I told you early in camp, it looked like it was going to be Dante Thornton, Trey Tucker, Jacoby Myers. Those are your three. Backing up Trey is Jack Besh. Backing up Jacoby is Amari Cooper. And there isn't a backup, obviously, for Dante. So that's kind of how that will all work out. Then you come into the offensive line. It's Colton Miller's your starting left tackle. Charles Grant backs him up. They really see him developing into a swing guy. Dylan Parham backed up by Caleb Rogers. Jordan Meredith backed up by Will Putnam. JPJ backed up by Alex Kappa. Delmar DJ Glaze, the mule, backed up by Stone Forsythe. So let's talk a little bit about this. This is part of the reason why I talk about, this is a team that's not a playoff team unless other people get really nailed with the injury bug and they stay exceptionally healthy just because of depth. So, I mean, when you look at, you're starting two rookie wide receivers. And then, yeah, you have Amari Cooper who's backing up one of them, which is good. And I apologize. You're not starting two, but you have two of your five are rookies. One of them starting. Jacoby is Jacoby. WR1 all day long. Trey Tucker's a guy that's played good last year, played better, actually. I don't know that I would say good, but it wasn't his fault. He had to keep waiting for the football. And then you got Dante. And you flip it around. You got Amari, which is really, really good. I like that. I like having Amari there. And then you just kind of Besh. So there's just not a lot of depth there. Not a lot of depth. Then, and you look at your offensive line, all right, Charles Grant, Caleb Rogers, Will Putnam, all three young guys. Charles Grant, Caleb Rogers, Will Putnam, who's a UDFA from Clemson, good player. But again, we're just talking about not a lot of experience there. So you get a couple of guys down. Now, if Parham goes down, they're going to move Kappa over to right and let over to left. Keep JPJ where there's at. So that's fine. That's a good backup. It wouldn't be Caleb. And, if Delmar DJ Glaze goes down, you're going to get Forsythe. But if Colton goes down, I think Stone would go over to left tackle. So, I mean, you can play with it there, but still, there's just not a lot of depth there. Go to tight end, a lot of depth. Tight end's the deepest place on the roster. You go to QB, Geno Smith, Kenny Pickett. I like that. I think Kenny Pickett's a super solid guy. I've told you guys before, I'm not a friend, but I've met him several times. Pat Narduzzi, his coach at Pittsburgh, is a very good friend of mine. In fact, I got a hilarious picture of him with my son Duffy, and but just he's a really wonderful kid, good kid, and I like his game. I thought he was put into a really tough spot at Pittsburgh. You want a rookie to go in there and start. He's from there. The pressure was enormous, and they didn't give him a whole lot of chances to be a rookie, and I think it was a bad situation for him. I think the Steelers are a great organization. I just think having to start a rookie quarterback is such a bad deal. I mean, look at all of the moronic people. Arch Manning sucks, doesn't deserve the name. I mean, you have to be a football I really want to. I'm not a politically correct person, but I want to think of the right term because the term I was thinking about would send people through the roof. You have to literally be a football moron after one start on the road at the shoe against a defending national title to say that about Arch. And then I remember there were people in Indianapolis that hated Peyton. So whatever, that's today's culture. Everyone's got to have a hot take. Look how smart I am. I got a hot take. Literally, you just look stupid. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. I like Kenny. I wouldn't want Kenny as my QB1 right now. I would never have signed Kenny to be QB1. Although I know a lot of people in Cleveland who thought he was the best looking quarterback in Cleveland, by the way. But I think like with Rich Gannon, I think like with Jim Plunkett, give that guy some time just to collect himself. But I love the Kenny pick. Love it. The pickup, excuse me. And then you go to running back. Man, I love running back. Ashton, Zamir, Raheem. There are three running backs right there that clearly I think Ashton's the best. I think that's clear. I really like Raheem a lot, and I really like Zamir. I like Zamir better because he's younger, allows you to explore more with him. But either way, I love running back. But you got a guy coming off injury, but he used to be a Pro Bowler. And then you got another guy coming off of an injury who for half a year was the best player in the league and had an outstanding college career. And you got the potential of a generational back in Ashton Jeanty. I love it. I like running back. It's not as deep as tight end, but I like a lot about this offense. This offense does not have to stay as incredibly healthy as the defense. They have to stay healthy because there's not a lot of depth. But if Dillon were to go down and you put Kappa over there, I'm okay with it. I don't think Kappa's as good as Dillon, but I'm okay with it. I think that there's a good depth there. If Brock were to go down, I don't think Michael Mayer is as good, but I still think he's very good, and Ian Thomas is very good. I'm okay with that. But there are some positions, especially on defense, where you don't have that luxury. So let's go over and take a look at defense. Obviously, defensive line went true to whole. Everything I told you. Max Crosby, Malcolm Kuntz, Tyree Wilson, Charles Snowden. Literally everything I predicted to you, 100% accurate. And let's not pat myself on the back like, ooh, he looked into the future and saw something. I mean, anyone that looked at this team objectively knew those were going to be the four defensive ends. Okay? Defensive tackle, though, there was a little bit of surprise. It took some criticism because I said to you after the San Francisco 49er game that I was told they were going to put Thomas Booker at the one spot next to Adam Butler. And first depth chart comes out, and they do. Really, really like Butler and Booker. I love this defensive front four. I quite frankly love the entire first and second string. Love it entirely. I think we're going to see a lot more from Tyree this year. I love Jonah Lalu, Leke Fotu. Love that kid too. Love it. And then Charles Snowden. Everyone knows what I think of Snowden. Love him. Great kid. So again, I think the Raiders got a lot of depth on the defensive line. A lot of depth. And then I didn't even talk about Pegues or Tonka Hemingway. So whatever you think, I love this group. I love this group. Great group. Then you start getting to outside line. Start getting to linebacker. Your starters are exactly like I told you they were going to be: Pratt, Elandon, Devin White. I am a buyer on those three. Then you come in, Jamal Adams, Tommy freaking Eichenberg, Brennan Jackson, Cody Lindenberg. Okay, I'm going to tell you this, and there are times I am going to be extremely critical when criticism is due. But I also want to be a guy that's going to be extremely fair when fairness is due. Coming into this season, we knew linebacker and corner were the weakest. Corner was first, linebacker is second. Now you're sitting here looking at this linebacker core, they're freaking loaded. I mean, Pratt, Elandon, Devin White. Yes, please. Jamal, Tommy freaking Eichenberg, Brennan Jackson. Yes, please. And then a Cody Lindenberg. You kept seven. Seven. Uno, dos, tres, cuatro, cinco, seis, siete. Seven linebackers. But look at what you got here. You've got some youth. You got youth. You got some older guys. Devin, who I don't think is old, but he's older. Pratt and Adams. But then you stole Brennan Jackson. Now listen, I am a huge Les Snead guy, the GM of the Rams. I think he's phenomenal. I really like Sean McVay. To me, I don't have a negative word about either one of those men. They are about the only organization. Okay, there are three organizations. If they would have let Brennan Jackson go, I would give them the benefit of the doubt. The Rams are one of them. But what a move by Spytech to just and look at credit Spy and credit Carroll. You took this position, which was arguably the worst. I say arguably, but it was clearly corner. But you could have made an argument the worst position on this team. Now it's one of the strongest. Now your front, you're too deep on your front defensive line, and you're too deep at your backers. Then you go to corner. Oof. Darnay Holmes, a veteran, had a good camp. Caillou Blue Kelly. Man, I like that kid. I like me some Caillou Blue. I just like the way I told you guys this before. So I got a chance to cover Dre Bly for quite a while. Just a great all-pro player, defensive back. Remember, he played with the Rams, played with the Lions. I had a great relationship with Dre. I love Dre as a human, a man of character, a man of integrity. He's a coach now, and I'd let my kid play for Dre Bly any day of the week. What a man of character in the locker room as a pro, the way he prepared as a pro. Caillou Blue Kelly, they're not the same, but every time I'm around Caillou Blue Kelly, I'm just like, wowza, he reminds me of Dre. And then Eric Stokes. Now, I've been stoked for Stokes. If that guy plays like he did as a rookie, Spy stole him. And he has since he's got here, he's played really, really well. So when I look at those starting, then you got other backups. DCAM, Darian Porter. I love icing the rook a little bit. Not starting him on the road with a ton of pressure. Listen, I think he's going to push everybody on this list. I would not be shocked to see him. I know he's backing up Caillou Blue Kelly. But I could see if Darnay slipped, you put Darian in there. Then all of a sudden you got two rooks in your starting corners, but it's a team that you don't think's a Super Bowl team. Don't even think they're a playoff team. Let those guys take their lumps. Let teams eat a little bit on them. Makes them better. I'm begging you, Raider Nation, let your young players this year eat a little bit. Tap the brakes. Let them develop. In the past, I'm not going to say who, but I remember a Raider young player that played and he got taken out of the starting lineup. I remember saying to the coach, wait, why'd you do that? Well, man, people were being so critical. Listen, I know it's true. I know it's true because I know of teams that have shown people that they were competing with free agents for, hey, here's how the Raiders take care of their players. This is how Raider Nation treats their players. And I know it can be brutal, but I thought, oh my God, why do you do that? But just let Caillou Blue Kelly, let Darian Porter eat a little bit. It's going to be, they're going to take some lumps this year now. When they do, I'm going to remind you, Uncle Hondo told you, go take some lumps now. Just let them eat. Just let them eat. It's all going to be good. A couple of talented young men, hardworking young men. I'd rather them take their lumps. If I'm a Raider, and I'm not. If I was a Raider, I'd rather them take their lumps. Take your lumps and live with it. They'll be fine. I love, 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 love the safety position on this team. I love IPM. I don't think he's a Pro Bowler this year. I think next year he ascends to that level. Jeremy Chin, all credit to Spy. Great job. And then you back it up with Chris Smith, who had a really good camp. Man, come on, Chris. Put this together now. And then, of course, they go out and they get Tristan McCullum. I like this team. The depth's going to be an issue because they got a lot of guys. I mean, you got Caillou Blue Kelly. You got Darian Porter. You got Tommy freaking Eichenberg. Love me some freak. And Cody Lindenberg. I like that kid. Man, I like that kid a lot. He reminds me a lot of Spills. A lot of Spills. Dante Thornton, young guy. Charles Grant, Caleb Rogers, young guys. Will Putnam, young guy. Jackson Powers Johnson, young guy. Jordan Meredith, young guy. Delmar DJ Glaze, the mule, young guy. Love me some Delmar DJ Glaze, the mule. I actually had a couple people email me saying, one guy said him and his buddies, he's in a fraternity, do a drinking game. But how many times I say Delmar DJ Glaze, the mule, in my podcast. Don't drink based upon my word association. But I love me that guy. Okay? I just like that, Bash. Love me some Bash. Pickett. I hope that Raiders get some leads so they can give Pickett some reps. Man, I hope that happens. I really like Kenny a lot. Ashton. Listen, there's going to be some fumbles. I'm just telling you right now. Let the kid eat. There's going to be some mistakes. Don't lobby. Let's relax a little bit. All right, now let's look at special teams. Best punter in the league is A.J. Cole, and don't even try to argue with me on that. If you try to argue with me with that, you're just going to sound stupid. Daniel Carlson, I think he's one of the top 3 kickers. I think you can make legitimate arguments that there are better kickers. I personally don't think so, but I think you could make salient arguments that there are better kickers, and I would say, I don't agree, but I think that's a very germane point. But great special teams. I love that Jacob Bobenmoyer, great long snapper right now, probably the best one in the league right now. So of the top 3, your top 3 guys, punter, kicker, holder, 2 of them are the best in the league, and one is in the discussion. That's freaking blessed. Let's look at kick returner. Trey Tucker, Dylan Labe. I like it. I am really excited they got Trey back there. I've thought that he is a guy you have to be creative to get the football in his hand. You got to be creative to get the football in his hand. And then I really like the fact Trey's back there as the punt returner, and then Ashton Jeanty in unique position. So what are some wrinkles that I'm looking for this week? Well, I think you're going to see some offensive stuff that you guys have been wanting to see. And I want to share something with you. So you may remember when they hired Chip Kelly, I told you I have lots of, by the way, don't you like my new Michigan State gear? Shout out to Michigan State sending me some gear, some team gear. Thanks, guys. Representing my Michigan State Spartans well. Got this nice little, it's like a hoodie jacket. It felt like Gruden opening a box. Anyways, so when the Raiders hired Chip Kelly, I talked to you about one of the things that I really liked about Chip Kelly. I talked to people at Ohio State, and so coming out of camp, they had 750 plays, and they just had like 150, but 5 different plays. Some of them as many as 7, some as low as 3, but from multiple positions, like 100 different formations. But you could run one play in the first quarter, second quarter run the same formation, different play, third quarter same formation, different play, fourth quarter same formation, different play, and then 3 more times down the road in other situations. And so by the time the season's over, they're at over 2,000 plays. So I want to warn you, because you're going to see some unique new things at New England, okay? And when you do, I know invariably what's going to happen. Why did he show that in New England? Why didn't he save it for Monday night against the Bolts? Relax. Sometimes you show stuff. So I'm going to give you an example. I'm not going to tell you what it was because it doesn't matter. But one of the Ohio State coaches told me this story. That last year, the Buckeyes were playing a game. It was a blowout relatively early in the season. And they showed a play. And this coach thought, I wonder why he would show that. We didn't need it in this game. But he thought, it's Chip. And we're good, so I'll let it go. And then several weeks later, they're playing a really big game. And they showed that play again. The defense thought they had it. Boom, Chip ran another play, and it was a big one. Some of it is strategery, which is a Saturday Night Live term making fun of President George W. Bush. It's not a political statement, just telling you where it comes from. I don't need any more emails. That's not a word, Uncle Hondo. Relax. But you're going to see some strategery from Chip. There's going to be some things he's going to do. He may do it 2 or 3 times. The same play out of the same formation, and you see the Patriots stop it, and you're like, what is he doing? Now, I love Gruden. Love John Gruden. Love him. Okay? But there would be times, how many times did you see him line up and do the same plays, and you knew it was coming, and you knew it didn't work? Chip, you're going to see line up thinking, what is he doing? And he's setting teams up to come back and do a different formation. I can totally see him wasting some downs in a game for future games. It's all strategy, of which Chip is universally praised and respected for his strategy, as is Pete Carroll, by the way, and Patrick Graham. So stay with that. Keep that in mind. I like this team. They are significantly better. Significantly better. I was talking today, actually, on the phone with a GM who knows the Raiders very well. Very well. And no, it wasn't a spy tech, but very well. when I say that, people are going to go, oh, it was fine. No, it wasn't. Although, go green, John. Anyways, I will tell you, he said, man, one thing about that Raiders roster, they are significantly better. And they are significantly better. So there's your rundown. I think you're going to see a lot of stuff that we've been telling you about in camp. Now, let's say the Raiders get out there and they don't look good early and the game gets out of hand. Then you probably won't see anything. If the game's out of hand, don't show your hand. I don't expect that to happen. I expect the Raiders to win. But that is something you're going to want to be very keen about and keep close attention on. Keep close attention on that. And I think it'll help you down the road in what you're looking for. Now, I have a big podcast tomorrow. Got something very interesting to talk to you about. Make sure you don't miss it. Remember, si.com/NFL/Raiders is where you go for all your Raiders stories. Nobody covers this team better than us, so get over there, check it out, 100% free. Thanks, everybody. God bless you.